Welcome back to the 10-second interview show. This is Advisors Capital Management, quick hitting talking points based on what it is that's going on in the market, what it is you may have questions about. I am joined by Dr. Charles Lieberman, Chief Investment Officer. Chuck, go over the rules super quickly. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You have 10 seconds to answer each question. We are TikTok dudes. This is a TikTok world. People don't have time. They got to get on with their day. Okay, Nate, if you could, throw up the clock. Chuck, coming at you. First question there now is overwhelming conversation of a potential ceasefire. The Trump administration is in some capacity talking to the Iranians. 10 seconds or less. What does a peace settlement or ceasefire look like? Go.
We have no idea because the Iranians are going to be difficult to negotiate with. They always are. They're not even admitting that they're talking to Trump. They claim that there are no negotiations going on and Trump's backing down. That's not going to fly. So I think there are talks going on. I think negotiations will take a while. The Iranians will contest every point. And we'll see whether or not they're willing to give up their nuclear weapons or effort to build nuclear weapons, their ICBMs, and all kinds of other things.
All right, so it's been a while since we've done the show, and I know the idea was 10 seconds. So we just shot over that in the first question, but I figured I would just remind you because I know, it's been a while. All right, so there now obviously has been elevated oil prices with the Straits of Hormuz and whatnot. As a result of higher oil prices comes the risk of higher inflation. Looking at CME Tracker, FedWatch tool, right? It is overwhelmingly likely the Fed does nothing for the rest of the year. But for the first time in a long time, there is some chance, it looks like, that the market is betting that rates actually go up. The Fed increases interest rates, far from the narrative we've been talking about of Fed lowering cuts. Do you think in this calendar year, 2026, the Fed lowers, stays, or increases rates? Why? Go.
Well, I think the economy will bounce back pretty quickly. Inflation will also recede. We're going to get a little bit of a surge because of oil prices, and then it'll reverse. But the real question is what's happening to the underlying trend. That'll take a while to figure out. And until then, the Fed's on hold.
You're in the do nothing camp. If prices, there was a lot of talk, right, that $100 oil, $150 oil breaks the back of the economy. The Fed's got to raise rates in that environment. Do you connect an oil price to the Fed having to raise rates, or is it more fluid than that?
We definitely don't do it to oil prices. The problem is oil availability. We in the U.S. have plenty of oil, but the price has gone up. Overseas, the price has gone up, but they may not have availability. And so they've got to curtail production, anything that uses a lot of energy, especially a lot of oil in manufacturing. So that's why their GDP will be hurt more than ours, but ours will be hurt as well. And inflation is the driver.
Does higher oil, is it as simple as higher oil leads to recession? Is it that simple?
No, it is not that simple.
Do you expect higher oil to lead to recession?
No, I doubt it. I suspect one way or another this thing is going to end sooner rather than later because I think the Iranians understand that who they're dealing with, Trump is not going to give up, and therefore they better figure a way out. They better find an off-ramp.
Okay, so you're looking at off-ramp over the next couple of months. Oil prices come down. The fear of recession associated with higher oil, the fear of higher interest rates associated with higher oil, all comes off the table. We move on to whatever the next crisis is.
Well, they have to open the strait first, right? So while the strait remains closed, the supply of oil to Europe and Asia is curtailed, and that's got to be restored. So that's got to happen sooner rather than later. Trump has agreed to halt his threat to bomb Iranian energy facilities. They've got to reciprocate by opening the strait.
Okay. So in short, that was it. Really quick, right? 10 seconds or less. We wanted to get to you on a day where it looks like there may be some sort of progress towards resolution here. Resolution won't be quick, but at the same point, at least we are moving in the right direction. Told you, we try and hit you quick. 10 seconds or less. Everybody get on with their day. Those are our talking points. We will come back to you when there is more, and there's always more.
There's got to be more.
There's always more. Thanks, everybody.